My name is Paul Gliona, and today I'll be speaking about someone who has made a huge impact on democracy, the late Nellie McClung. The definition of a hero is a person who is admired and idolized for courage, outstanding achievements, and noble qualities. The hero that I'll be speaking about was courageous, stood up for what she believed in, and made a very large impact on democracy as we know it. The hero that I will be talking about today is the well-known Nellie McClung. Nellie McClung was a Canadian author, social activist, suffragette, politician, and not to mention a mother of 5 children, her sons Jack, Paul, Mark, and Horace, and her daughter Florence. She was born on October 20th, 1873 in Chatsworth, Ontario, and died on September 1st, 1951 in Victoria, British Columbia. In 1880, when Nellie McClung was younger, she moved to Manitoba, where she would soon become a very important person in Canada's development of democracy. From 1911 to 1915, Nellie McClung fought for women's rights in Manitoba as part of the Liberal Party. She organized the Women's Political Equality League, which was a group that devoted their time to women's suffrage, which is the right to vote in political elections. Nellie McClung also played a role of the Conservative Premier in Manitoba during a mock trial. She did this to show how absurd it was that only men could vote during elections and not women. Finally, after all this happened, Manitoba was then the very first province in Canada that would allow women to vote in political elections. But before Nellie had the chance to vote, she had moved to Calgary, Alberta, where she was elected to the Calgary Legislative Assembly as a Liberal. This is where Nellie McClung started to write novels on women's rights, such as Sewing Season Danny and various magazine and newspaper articles. When living in Alberta, Nellie McClung continued campaigning for women's suffrage. The First World War helped Nellie with this. This was due to the fact that during the war, there were less male employees, so there were many more women working, and this made the image of women much stronger. With this image, she achieved dental and medical care for school children, property rights for married women, and many other reforms. Nellie McClung, along with 4 other women, Irene Parably, Henrietta Muir Edwards, Emily Murphy, and Louise McKenney, were known as the Famous Five or the Valiant Five. This was the group of women that stood up for women's rights all over Canada. The most famous thing that this group accomplished was in 1927, where they clarified the term persons in Section 24 of the British North American Act. Then they started a petition that was very successful, clearing the way for women to enter politics all over Canada. In 1954, Nellie McClung was named a Person of National Historic Significance by the Government of Canada for what she had done to democracy. Nellie McClung made a very large impact on today's democracy as well. She made it possible for women to take part in politics, such as being a member of the House of Commons, a Senate, the mayor, and most importantly, being able to vote. This has changed the minds of many people and how they see women. In conclusion, what Nellie McClung has done made a very large impact, which is truly unbelievable. Many people were inspired by her and today choose to stand for what they believe in, such as equal pay among all genders. This concludes my speech, and I hope you enjoyed.